Hey, what's going on, folks? This is Stix here for another Stix Top 6, where I count down the best and worst that theme parks have to offer. In today's episode, we're going to be running through the best queues throughout the entirety of the Universal Orlando Resort. So this includes both Universal Studios and Islands of Adventure. And one final note, I'm judging these choices on the queue itself, not the wait times, not the staff, not the ride, just the queue and what you get to experience before the ride. And just a reminder, this list is made up of just my opinions and mean absolutely no harm if your favorite queue didn't end up on the list, and I'd honestly love to hear about any favorites you have that you feel deserved a spot. But anyway, with all that being said, let's jump right into today's countdown. Number 6. The Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man. The Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man in the Marvel Superhero Island portion of Islands of Adventure does a fantastic job of transporting you right into the odd and wacky comic book world of Spider-Man, but it all really starts throughout the queue as you walk through Peter Parker's workplace, the Daily Bugle, where you can see newspaper and computer articles, different offices like J. Jonah Jameson, a mini version of your ride vehicle, and throughout this whole walkthrough you'll see videos of the Spider-Man cartoon giving backstory on the villains you'll be fighting and why you're fighting them throughout your adventure. All of this combined is just to get you immersed in this comic book world before you even enter the also amazing attraction. Number 5. E.T. Adventure. In the back of Woody Woodpecker's Kids Zone, you'll find E.T. Adventure, and right off the bat with the queue, you'll be seeing a video of Steven Spielberg telling you how we have to save E.T. and his friends by getting him home to the Green Planet. The video itself is entertaining enough and shows off some of the outstanding animatronics yet to come, and seeing Steven Spielberg having worked so closely with this attraction adds a nice, very homey touch to it. Once you actually enter the waiting area, you'll tell your name to one of the cast members playing one of Steven Spielberg's associates, and you'll receive your interplanetary ID, which is a very cool touch. And the final stretch of the wait is a forest with the sound of frogs and bugs and the smell of pine in the air, showing off some scenes from the movie, like a speak and spell game showing H-E-L-P-E-T, help E.T., and Botanic is beaming down every few minutes, begging for E.T. to return home. All of this, of course, leads up to your ride vehicle, which are the bikes used to fly across the night sky in the movie. By the time you even start the ride, you're beyond excited, and the anticipation is immense. This is the definition of a queue that gets you absolutely hyped for the ride you're about to take. Number 4. Men in Black Alien Attack. In the World Expo portion of Universal Studios, right near the Simpsons ride, you'll find the Men in Black facility, and it's absolutely massive. From the second you walk inside after an MIB cast member, he or she will tell you you're in for a 3-hour tour about the universe. However, when a distress call comes in, the elevator doors open and your tour transitions swiftly into an MIB training mission. This is where you enter the official Men in Black facility, and it's everything from the movies you could ask for and more. You'll pass by props of the weaponry used in the movies, including the Neuralizer or Mind Eraser. You'll pass by the aliens drinking coffee in the break room, and you'll of course pass by the Visitation Sign-In Center with 2 aliens controlling the screen. And if you take a cast member tour through the facility, you can actually enter down there and see what some of the writing on the sign-in sheets are, and even sign them for yourself and see the computers, and of course, get an extremely close look at the alien animatronics. However, you aren't allowed to touch them. All of this goes on while video screens play animated shorts of the universe and you to help immerse you further into the world of Men in Black. Number 3. Despicable Me Minion Mayhem. If you saw my least favorite rides in Universal Studios video, you'd know I'm not the biggest fan of the Despicable Me Minion Mayhem ride on its own. However, this attraction has one of the most immersive and visually stunning queues to date. As you enter, you're inside Gru's house with portraits of all the characters on the walls and different devices seen in the movies. While you're inside this room, a screen plays showing Gru, Agnes, Margot, and Edith, and the minions explaining the recruitments of a minion. This also plays clips from the film and mini-movies, and just some really fun jokes for the whole family. From here you move into an actual laboratory where 3 large screens show off the characters, once again prepping you for your initiation into the world of minions. This is about when Gru allows the girls to be the trainers for your set of potential minions. This is what leads to the epic chase and movie that is Despicable Me Minion Mayhem. Number 2. Skull Island Reign of Kong. Moving over to the Skull Island portion of Islands of Adventure for the aptly named Skull Island Reign of Kong, which if you've seen my top 6 best animatronics video, you'd have known this queue is absolutely astounding. From the facade of the mountain outside to the point you reach your buggy, this is one of the most realistic and enthralling queues of all time. You enter the wait to find skulls and rotted vines lining the decrepit walls, and eventually you reach the room with the insanely impressive shamaness animatronic performing an ancient ritual with fire behind her. This provides so much entertainment for guests until you reach the next room with the giant man-eating slug animatronic as well. The imagery along your walk to the buggy is extraordinary, and the props you'll see are super cool. This queue doesn't do a great job of immersing you, but completely transporting you to Skull Island. This is one you won't even want to miss if you're not a huge fan of the ride. The queue is completely worth it by itself. Honorable Mention: Revenge of the Mummy. So our honorable mention takes us to the New York City section of Universal Studios for Revenge of the Mummy. I decided to place this as the honorable mention because there isn't too much in terms of the actual queue. But when you look at the story of the ride, you're an extra for the new Mummy movie being filmed, and it's not until the Magi symbol which controls the mummies is lost and all nightmares break loose. So because you're technically on a movie set, there's tons of actual props from the Mummy movies which are a definite guilty pleasure of mine, and along with props there's lots of things to place your hands on in order to flick the lights on and off or make a shocking sound to keep guests interested. And of course there's a bunch of tombs and creepy mummy imagery. All of this combined with a very dimly lit path to walk on makes it a very eerie and unsettling walk up to your ride vehicle, but it puts you right into the atmosphere of the Mummy, and it's worth the walk every single time. Number 1. Race Through New York starring Jimmy Fallon. Again, if you'd seen my least favorite rides in Universal Studios list, you'd know I'm far from a fan of Race Through New York with Jimmy Fallon as a ride. However, I adore it as a queue, and basically a Tonight Show museum showing off props and outfits from each host from years past. After the museum portion, you end up in a waiting room with video games based on the rides you can play, lots of seating for a comfortable and relaxing wait time, and of course the barbershop quartet that comes in and performs several a cappella hits, tells jokes, and makes you feel right as if you're in the crowd for a Jimmy Fallon show. Finally, right before you enter the seating for the ride, you view a pre-ride movie with Jimmy Fallon that seriously feels exactly like a skit right out of the TV show. And of course all of this is going on inside a complete recreation of the NBC Comcast building, literally placing you inside the closest thing to the real show. This entire experience is beyond immersive and is the perfect introduction to this attraction. Even being someone like me who really dislikes the ride itself, I always feel like it's worth it to go inside, enjoy the air conditioning, and witness the best queue in all of Universal Orlando. Alrighty folks, that's gonna about wrap up my Stix Top 6 Best Universal Orlando Queues. I hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and share the video around. It'd help out a ton and means a lot. And if there's any queues you feel deserve a spot on the list or just any theme park related topics you'd like to discuss, let me know down in the comments below and we'll start a conversation there. And with everything else being said, this is Silver Stix signing out. Have a great rest of your day, theme park fans. Peace.